Hey guys, okay, I'm going to run through this homeschool book haul real quick for everybody so I can try to beat my battery life here because I think it's going to die on me. But wanted to go through these really quickly. I've gotten some books in from eBay from a lady I purchased books off of on Facebook, and then I think a couple of them from Goodwill. If we have time, I'll throw in a couple of these other books that I got from Goodwill just to show you, but they're just readers for our bookshelf. Nothing as far as following a unit study as far as pirates and a war or anything like that, but just fun readers. So we'll start with these. My daughter is wanting to do her research paper this year on the Titanic. Each of my kids do a research paper, and since they're not giving a report and stuff in front of a whole classroom like they would in a public school, they do give it in front of their classmates as, you know, like their brother and sister. But when they're going to do something like this, like a report, I will invite like grandma and grandpa and people like that, family members and friends maybe, and I will cook a big meal and they will give their report and stuff at that time to make it fun for them and makes them want to dive in and learn it and have the knowledge, so where they are not standing in front of somebody, and so it really puts them into really wanting to do things right. So that's what we do for that. This so she's wanting to do the Titanic. So I've gotten a lot of books. I've shown you in some videos some of the new books that I've gotten, and I have a lot on the Titanic. And just for resources or fun readers and stuff, very interested in stuff like that. They don't have to do a disaster. They can do anything. They can do a person or a war or whatever they want. But she has chosen the Titanic. So I've gotten her some more books. This is Finding the Titanic. So it's the whole story about the people that were searching for the Titanic and when they found it and fun stuff like that. So and it's a very easy reader. She could have this done in an hour, probably less than that. But anyway, that's one for her. Then we have this Titanic Disaster at Sea, and this is a Scholastic, Discover More reader. It's like a level 3. She can obviously whip through this. But obviously these kind of books are, they have big pictures and little articles with the pictures and very packed full of information and fun stuff like this, for instance, where it's got the Titanic cut in half and you can kind of see the different levels of it and such. Just different pictures from the actual ship and lots of information, how the ship would have went down and all that kind of stuff. So fun for her on that one, and we got that one to grab off the shelf. These two books I'll do real quickly are actually, they were for me and my oldest son, but I've decided to throw them into homeschooling because I read through quite a bit of the stories and I was blown away at how interesting they were. This is the best little stories from the American Revolution, and this is the best little stories from the Civil War. And there's like over hundreds of stories in here, and they're not real long. Let me kind of give you an example. I say that and I go to like the longest one. Actually, I've read some through the American Revolution. This one, for instance, it starts here and it ends there, So, and then some of these are just letters that they have gotten their hands on and put into this book. There's letters from George Washington to his wife. There's articles in newspaper, one that I've already read about Benjamin Franklin's son, and just all kinds of awesome stories in here. So I'll just kind of grab out what I want and read them a few of those stories. I love it when it's in their own words. That's so much fun to me. I love it. So I've got the American Revolution and the Civil War. I got these off of Amazon. Most of my stuff comes from Amazon, or Dollar Tree. This is by Dawn's Early Light. So it's about the Star-Spangled Banner and the whole story behind that. And Francis Scott Key and him writing it. And it's actually really cool. Let me get you this in the back here. So they have an actual picture of the manuscript of the poem that Francis Scott Key wrote in his room. So that is really, really neat. Loved having that. But we'll probably sit down and read this in one little sitting. It's not very long, about that many words on each page, and it comes with a big picture on the other page. So it's will be a fast read, and my older kids have already heard the story of him writing that, but I'll obviously do it for the younger kids, but a good refresher for them on that and myself. George Washington, a picture book biography. This is just running through his whole life from a boy to a war hero, and then our first president, his life, his personal life, different things like that. It's very easy read, big pictures, takes up most of the space, and then fun facts. So that is a good one for the kids. George Washington, a picture book biography. Okay, let me go through these real quick first. So this is my son, my second grader, will be learning about pirates and different things, and each of the kids have touched on that in their lessons and stuff like that and different parts. But my son is really interested in that. He finds that very fun and interesting. Of course, the movies, like it shows here, portrays pirates as fun and intriguing, and sometimes the good guys, and we know that that's not actual history. And this book kind of plays off that. It kind of shows you that what the real story is behind pirates and what they did, and actually what they still do today. But so lots of good pictures there and fun information. He saw this book, I believe. Yeah, we got this from Goodwill, and it's in great condition, so we purchased that for 69 cents. This book, along with the By Dawn's Early Light and the George Washington book, I got from a lady on Facebook that I buy a lot of books from. She used to be a teacher, so she's got available. This is the heroines of the American Revolution, so all the women behind that time, and a lot of fun stuff in here, even letters. So I was really excited to get this book. Betsy Ross, all the big and women I've never even heard of. So I was excited to get this, and I will probably pick out, obviously, so we don't have a huge unit in colonial times and with one of my kids. Maybe I'll do a few women in one of their units and then a few women in the other ones, so they can kind of get that. And then obviously they'll sit on the shelf for their choosing. But I like this book. This is really, really fun and interesting. So let me do this one real quick, and then I'll get to all these DKY books. Let me set that one over there. I adore this book. If there's one book that I can choose to show people, let me see if I can get closer without it getting all blurry on me. If there's one book I can show you out of all my videos that you would want to have for a history book, American Revolution history book, it would be this one. This one is so amazing, and I love it, and it really interacts with the kids to get them going and get their hands on it. And it's a hands-on history book. This is the American Revolution. I have not seen or had the time to just look, but I'm sure they have a lot of hands-on books, this particular company or author. But this is great, and it's made very well. So it's not real paper thin pages. They're real thick because they do little interactive things. So it's the American Revolution, and I'll go through this real quick. So like there's a letter on most of the pages, and you slide it up, and you pull the letter out, and you can read it. I'll open this one up. And that right there, I saw that, and I was like, my kids will love that. And it has all kinds of interesting facts and information, much like, the other books that we have where the pictures and the little article next to it, talking about all the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, and the Townsend Act. You lift those up, and you learn more about them. So, hands-on book for sure. Here's another one of those letters. Open it up and pull the letter out. I was very excited to, when I purchased this, because it is used, that when I purchased it, it was not missing any of the letters or pieces. So that was good to know. Let me pull this back a little bit. So you have the colonial infantry soldier, and you can see see all about him, and then open that up and learn that. And then you have the British foot soldier, little red coat over here, and open that up and learn there. Then you have the Continental Congress and information here, and then you can flip this open. Let me see if I can. And gives you all kinds of information there. Turn this. And then another letter. So the Declaration of Independence, you open this up and it gives the whole Declaration of Independence, which my kids have on parchment. Can't even say the word. Another letter here. Let me pull this out. There we go. My dear father. So real letters and stuff is just fun. Fun. But let's turn to this one. Another letter, and this is fun. You just slide him across the river, because it's talking about Washington crossing the Delaware. So then we have the unsung heroes of the American Revolution, the battles of 1777, and so forth and so on. But in each page has little hands-on activities for them and things to get involved with the book, and I just loved it. So I was really excited to have this book, and I will be definitely looking to see if they have other books like this for other things in history. So the American Revolution, a hands-on history book. That is my favorite. So here's these DK eyewitness books. The hurricane and tornadoes, we'll be pulling this out when we do our weather unit, and it doesn't just have that, it's packed full of information. It is very intriguing to learn about. Even as an adult, I like to open these books and read. These books are much like walking through a museum. They have the different little pictures and articles and fun facts and different things like that. And this one is on pirates, I'm sorry. So we'll be pulling this off the shelf when we go to do our pirate unit with my youngest. And again, like I said, it's like walking through a museum. You see all these little pieces, and then it tells you about them. It tells you the stories behind the people and the, for instance, all this armor, and it's going to tell you what they are and maybe who wore it and so forth and so on. So that is Pirates, the World War II. My son has requested more World War II and World War I books, so I can get that out. And so I have purchased this for him. These are from a library, so they are very used, but they're in just fine condition. So I didn't pay hardly anything for them, so I cannot complain if there's a torn page or something. So this is all World War II. Again, you're walking through a World War II museum. Very fun, interesting. And this is for my daughter's Ancient Egypt study. She'll also be doing Rome and certain things like that, but this is for all that. So it's all the mummies, and we have already dug into this book, and it is eye-opening and very interesting, and you just can't believe some of the things that you're reading and looking at. So very fun and interesting. So there are the DKY Eyewitness books that I have purchased, and that is all. Oh wait, I can show you some of these books, I guess, real quick. Just super quick, these are some books that I said I would show if I had the time to throw on the shelf. This is The Mystery of Mineral Gorge, and I loved this because I actually just grabbed it because I liked the pictures, but me and my daughter read it real quick just to see what the story was about. Very cute story about a little village and what they thought was a animal or something that was outside their town, maybe going to hurt them or something, and that was really fun to read. So this is Frogs and Are Fantastic, and my son requested this, and they already ran off with the magnifying glass. But it's also a find, so it shows you these little things that you can find in the pictures, and it gives you all the information about frogs and the whole growing of frogs. And let me see here. Just trying to get to the page. Okay, yeah, it says like growing up. So it says frogs grow up in 5 stages. And so it gives you all kinds of information. Plus it lets the kids do a fun activity with it. And he has found several frogs out in our yard. So he grabbed this book and wanted to have this for school. So, and they obviously learn this kind of stuff in school. So it'd be fun to be able to grab that off the shelf when we come across that. And then here's some other books that I got to throw on the shelf. Is No Room for Napoleon. And I got it again because I love all the pretty pictures and it's a fun story. So that one, Lost in the Snow. This was almost in perfect condition. So, and it was beautifully illustrated. Just about the story about this little puppy. It'll be a fun little reader for my little one. And A Wish to Be a Christmas Tree. Now I've read this before and I saw it, so I was like, why not? And I'll read that to the kids at reading time. So that is my haul. Thanks for watching.